Welcome to another episode with a dynamic duo talking security from deep within our secret crime-fighting lair. Pamela and I are ever vigilant, sniffing out evil actors. If we had any actual budget, we'd invest in new capes and masks, but sadly, we have no budget. But not to be deterred, today we've got a real treat for you guys. This is our third episode, and we have the privilege of talking to one of IBM's key security business partners, Prolifics. Both Pamela and I have known Jeanette Wareham for a very long time. Pamela, would you take a minute and introduce Jeanette and her crew of security professionals that she's brought along with her today?
Absolutely, it'd be my pleasure. And we'll start with Jeanette. Welcome, Jeanette.
Thank you.
Jeanette has over 20 years experience in services, consulting, and software sales. She was 13 years with IBM and has an excellent reputation in the marketplace. And she's 2 years with Prolifics, and she's covering all industries today. The states she's covering is Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Pennsylvania. She brings with her today her security team. She's going to be introducing her right-hand man, her architect, a little bit later. And so we're going to start with an introduction with Robert Adachi. He is the head of their security practice, and he has 20 plus years experience in the identity management space. He joined IBM in 2001, and in 2009, Rob joined Prolifics, our IBM Premier Business Partner. Robert, will you go ahead and give us a little bit more background information?
Yeah, certainly. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. I have been working in the identity and access management area for quite some time, and I love it. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and I love working with customers. Some of the areas that we're working with customers specifically is identifying and working hand in hand with the customers to identify their needs for identity and access management for traditionally on-prem solutions, but in today's world, we're moving forward and there's new technologies that we'll talk about a little bit later.
Okay, great. And now I'd like to introduce Michael Murphy. And Michael has 20 plus years in the industry, and he's been implementing these software services 14 years as a customer, and he was working with Whirlpool and Harley Davidson. Michael, can I turn it over to you to give us a little bit more information about your background?
Sure, thanks, Pamela. So it's right, I've made the switch from customer to providing solutions for our customers, which has been a great experience, bringing all that rich knowledge of customer interactions with me. So familiar with the IBM access management, IBM identity management, some of the other IBM products that we've used with our customers in the past few years. So for the past 6 years, I've been doing that. And then just recently this year, I moved into the technical sales organization, which is a new group for Prolifics, but we're bringing together our sales organization and our engineering organization and helping them to provide solutions to our customers. So looking forward to that and looking forward to this conversation.
Very good. Well, welcome. And Jeanette, will you introduce your architect?
Yes, Jason Sabotka is my wingman. Jason has been with Prolifics for about 5 years. Prior to that, he was also an enterprise architect at IBM, covering the entire portfolio. So he was exposed to everything that IBM sold. He's excellent. He's totally customer focused, and I love working with him.
Oh, that's great. Welcome, welcome, Jason. Well, we're going to turn our first question over to Robert. So Robert, the first question we wanted to ask you is for you to please tell us a little bit about the security services that you're delivering today with your clients.
Yeah, certainly. So Prolific Security has been involved in many areas of security for quite a long time with a lot of Fortune 500 companies We specialize in architecting, deploying, and as well as managing on-prem identity and access management environments for the customer. Some of the other areas of security that we're working with customers is SIEM, security information and event management, as well as incident response type of solutions.
That's great.
So,
Now,
no, go
Brian?
ahead, Pamela. No, so,
let me send it to you.
okay, okay, thanks. And I'm not sure who exactly to direct this to, but Pamela and I are aligned specifically by industry. We have financial services in North America, and I know you guys, Prolifics is a nationwide company. Do you guys organize by industry, and if so, what kind of solutions are you offering in the financial services space? From your website, I see you've got mortgage banking, insurance, and banking and finance as specialties. So if you could talk about that, that would be great. And maybe we'll direct that to Mike, because it looks like Mike's got a Harley tank behind him. Is that true?
Yes.
It is a Harley tank. They give those out when you leave the company, and everybody signs them. It's kind of a fun parting gift. So if you ever walk around their corporate offices, there's tanks that are lined up in different parts of the offices. So it was a fun place to work. But we do some manufacturing, but we do have a number of customers that are in the financial services. We have a current customer on the East Coast who's a large insurance and financial company, and we've been providing to them some upgrade services, so moving them from their on-prem access management environment, moving them to a new cloud-based access management environment with IBM, and building out their identity solutions through that, some custom, but also using a lot of the different IBM technologies to kind of glue everything together to make it work seamlessly, working with different APIs and making it a little bit more modular, which seems to be really popular right now, is kind of moving to API-based infrastructures. So that, in addition to that, we also provide to them managed services where we're taking care of their environment, making sure it stays up, making sure it stays stable. And Jason could talk a little bit more about that too. He's been working very closely with this customer in that space.
Jason, you want to take a minute?
Right, sure. We also are working in the insurance industry, or have been working in the insurance industry, around implementing privileged identity management. And that is one of the first projects that I was a privilege of working with Prolifics for as I came aboard 4 years ago. So we've been in that space for a long time as well.
All right, very good. Yeah, the whole PAM space is red hot right now, because everybody's trying to solve the same problem as they're trying to move workloads as fast as possible out to the cloud. They got to figure out how to secure all that stuff. So that's kind of a great segue, Pamela, into the next question.
Yes. So this question is to Robert. With COVID-19, what are you hearing from your clients? What are you hearing from the CISOs? With everyone working from home, they're using some of their devices, right? Their personal laptops, their tablets, their desktops. What are you hearing out in the field from your clients, and what are the concerns that you're addressing?
Well, great question. So COVID-19 really has changed the security landscape for every single company throughout the world. And America businesses has been hit the same. A lot of companies really were structured for maybe 10, 15, 20% of their employees to be working remotely. Suddenly when COVID-19 occurred, all the companies had to send all their employees working from home, which caused an incredible strain on the network itself. It also increases the types of security vectors or incidences that a company needs to look at. A lot of those types of vectors are introduced because of those work from home computers that everybody's using. Sometimes it's your own personal computer. Sometimes it is, sometimes some of your kids are actually using those same computers, and they may be downloading some pieces of software that just aren't friendly to your corporate networks. Some of the other attack vectors that are occurring, malware that may be downloaded, as well as some things like ransomware, phishing attacks, spyware, all those things that corporate security is very careful on scanning and trying to protect their digital assets. That has kind of been taken apart because everybody's working on their own devices. So corporations really have to look at how can they now start scanning and protecting those digital assets when people are working from home and using their own personal devices.
Right, and I'd say in addition, making sure that we have good controls over single sign-on to different applications within those companies. So, if your son or daughter happens to be on your computer and tries to sign into a particular application, there's a prompt with a access token that the parent would have to provide. So there's no kind of rooting around on network and computers that's unsupervised. So I think some of the IBM solutions can provide that kind of second factor. We see a lot of our customers using those second factors to make sure that the right folks that have the right devices and the right security get into those different applications that are secure.
Excellent.
So, Jeanette, I'm going to fire this one over to you, and you can kind of parse it out as you see fit. But I was on your website this morning, and the lead article out there said it's time for a new normal in business. This is the best part: reopening, rehiring, retooling, and reimagining. Your marketing department is working overtime. That's great.
Yeah.
Can you give us an idea of what is this? Is it a project? Is it an approach? Is it a workshop? What are you offering customers here? Because it sounds very intriguing.
Yeah, I think it's an approach that we're trying to look at. How can we help people adapt to this new normal? Security, obviously, is one of the biggest and top concerns. In fact, that's how Pamela and I started talking about this. I sent her an article where it said cybersecurity, information security, and network security are the top concerns of most IT leaders right now, as well as protecting their data, protecting the loss of any of their data, because again, everybody's working remotely, and moving to the cloud quicker, because we have to adapt, we have to do things faster. People aren't in an office, we can't do things the way we used to. And so, excuse me, we're trying to find solutions that we can offer to really make a difference. Another one, cost optimization. People are losing money, right? Business is not normal anymore. And so how do we save more money, right? So we've started a practice on data mining, right? To look at using your actual digital footprint of all your event logs to look at your business processes and how can we help you shore those up. Maybe it's introducing some chatbots in. Maybe you're lacking security in a particular area. Different ways to help companies reduce their cost, optimize how they do business, because we're all struggling to look at the bottom line. So that's some of the things that we're doing.
Well, it sounds very interesting. Do you have more to add? I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we focus at with Prolifics and we have for a long time, is solutions. Coming up with a solution to a business problem, and how can Prolifics address it with IBM products and our consulting services. So that's where somebody like myself will come into play, and I'll work with Jeanette and understand what's the business problem that you have at hand. Is it a compliance problem? Is it a data governance problem? Is it an identity and access problem? but what's the underlying business problem that needs to be solved, and then work with our practices to bring forth the best solution.
Hey, Jeanette, this whole thing kicked off a few weeks ago. You had sent Pamela a white paper. It was a very good read. How do we distribute that white paper to people who might be interested? Can I put it in the show notes? How's the best way to get that out to people?
Yeah, it was from Aero ECS, and
Okay.
I just happened to see it. I cut and pasted the top 3 priorities, which were around security, data protection, and cloud adoption, which is all near and dear to our hearts, right? And I guess you could send them. I sent you guys the link to actually read the article. I don't know if you can distribute it. I don't know if there's copyright protection on it.
I'll look at the link.
Yeah.
If it's an Arrow IP, then I'll just direct them out to Arrow and they can get it from there.
Yeah, they could probably get it from Arrow. I would imagine it's probably on their website too. You had to go in and fill out to have them send you an email to the link, and that's how I got it.
Robert, I wanted to ask you another question about cloud, because I know you work with a lot of customers around their cloud initiatives. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to just talk about what you're seeing with cloud, and certainly security in the cloud. So if you could spend a minute or two talking about that, that would be great.
Yeah, certainly. So we're seeing more and more companies that have on-prem types of identity and access management solutions. They've been great at monitoring all their identities, managing the access management, the single sign-on, the federations and all. But what a lot of companies are looking towards is really the next generation, or what the future of identity and access management is going to or will be. And a lot of them are investing in cloud type services, IDaaS type services. And some of the reasons why they're doing it is to realize some of the cost savings in capital and operational expenses, reducing the expertise that they have to have in their operational teams. A lot of that is has been transitioned into the cloud, where the cloud service itself is maintaining that, maintaining those types of skills on behalf of the customer. Another thing that I see that the cloud services are also doing is they're constantly updating their security vectors. And believe it or not, a lot of these cloud providers, the IDaaS solutions, are able to detect and tell you when there's a security vector coming your way. And a lot of companies have no idea that there may be some type of cyber attack coming at them. But these cloud providers, IDaaS providers, are really doing a nice job, a great job on helping companies detect these security breaches before they actually occur.
That's great. That's in everybody's best interest to figure this out, but while it's happening or before it happens, so they can shut it down. So that's very good. How about one of the things Pamela and I hear quite a bit is, I just can't find enough people that I want with the right skills. And, basically, I like to give part of my infrastructure away for someone to manage. Could you talk to what you're seeing in that space? Because I think the skills contention right now is reaching an all-time high. And I know you guys offer the service, so if you could talk to that a little bit, and what you're seeing and what you're hearing from customers, that would be great.
Yeah, certainly. So a lot of companies are realizing that their workforce is transitioning to other areas, and security, the maintenance of everything is becoming very costly, and it's becoming harder and harder to retain a lot of the skill sets and the people. So we're also seeing, because of the cloud services, they're able to migrate some of the workloads onto the cloud to be able to do the types of management and operational type tasks that they traditionally have been doing. Absolutely.
No,
So,
it's-
and I'll say, in addition, we offer services around managing, monitoring, and taking care of your companies or the company's different security solutions. So I mentioned earlier on that we do that for one of our company customers that we work with. So we provide them monitoring, we do patching for their environment. You know, if it's in certain situations, you know, they're taking the on-prem solution and just moving it to a cloud. And so it still needs that care and feeding to keep it up and current. You know, so that we provide that patching and maintenance, you know, doing deployments from the, you know, project teams and moving it up through the environments, their QA and development and testing and production environments. And then we also provide, you know, incident management. So if there does have to be an issue that comes up, we can provide 24/7, 365-day support for that environment. So, you know, it takes the burden off of the customer having to get woken up in the middle of the night.
Right.
That call comes to that workload comes to us, and they don't have to worry about it. So it's really great to be able to provide that to the customers, not just only the services to get the environment built, but then we can manage it after the fact and keep it up and running and current and secure.
Yeah, we have several customers that have gone down the managed service route for certainly for our SIM product, QRadar, and for SOAR for Resilient. It seems to be a natural fit. It was one of those things that's, you know, easily given to a managed service provider, but certainly people are interested in talking about going down that path for exactly what you just said. It's like, I don't want to call it 3 o'clock in the morning. Let somebody else do that. We'll figure it out, you know, tomorrow morning. So, all right, very good. So, guys, anything that any burning questions that you guys are ready to answer that we haven't asked you? I feel as though maybe we should turn it back to you and let you answer some questions to make sure that we've got everything out of our system. Come on, Jeanette, you don't have one question?
I think you guys hit all the high points, you know.
All right.
I mean, I think you covered it really well.
All right.
We don't want to overwhelm people. I mean, in a YouTube video, I think you covered the hot ones.
All right.
You know,
I think this is a video well done. Pamela, what do you think?
I think it's well done, my crime-fighting friend.
You want to try a second take at our closing? Go ahead. Thank our
Okay.
guests and jump in.
Well, we'd like to thank everyone for joining today. We'd like to thank all our viewers, and we want you all to stay safe.
Thanks for tuning in, and please stay secure. Subscribe, hit that bell so that you get notified. Share this video with your friends and neighbors. Share this video with your mother. I'm going to take this over and share it with Jeanette's mother, because clearly she needs to have a computer over there. She'll love it. Remember, don't let the bad guys ruin your day. Until next time, it's a Dynamic Duo signing off.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.